Chumash and Rashi, the Torah portion, Vayechi, the 12th, the book of Vayechi's Genesis. Continue with the story of Yaakov giving a blessing to the two sons of Yosef, Menashe and Ephraim. And what do we have yesterday? Yaakov put his right hand on the younger son, Ephraim, and his left hand on the older son, the firstborn, Menashe. So let's continue with that. We are chapter 48, verse 17. V'yar Yosef, and Yosef saw Kiyoshis, that he placed Aviv, his father, Yad, his hand, Yamino, his right hand, al Rosh Ephraim, on the head of Ephraim, the younger son, and it was displeased in his eyes, displeased for him. And he supported Yad Aviv, the arm of his father, Lahasir, to move it, Oisa, to move his arm, Me'al Reish Ephraim, from upon the head of Ephraim, Ba'al Reish Menashe, and to put it on the head of Menashe. So he's like this right now, right?
Yes.
So he's picking it up to go like this, right? So Rashi in 17, V'yismach Yad Aviv, he supported his father's hand, Herima Me'al Reish Benoi, he raised it upon the head of his son, Smocha B'yodai, and supported it with his hand. Verse 18, Vayemer Yosef, and Yosef said, El Aviv, to his father, Lo Yechein Avi, not so, father, Ki zeh haBechor, because this is the firstborn. Sim Yemincha al Reishai, place your right hand on him. No, Rashi, 19. Vayimayin Aviv, and he refused his father. Vayomer, and he said, Yedaiti beni, I know, my son. Yedaiti, I know. Gam hu, he too, La'am, will be a nation. V'gam hu yigdal, he too will become great. V'ulam, however, achiv hakatein, his brother, the younger, yigdal mimenu, will be greater than he. V'zara yeh molei hagoyim, and his seed will be filled. Molei hagoyim, will fill the nations. Wow. Okay, let's see Rashi. So Rashi picks up on Yadaiti v'ni Yadaiti. I know, my son, I know. What? Shehu B'chor, that he's the firstborn? Gam hu yeh la'am, he too will become a great nation, right? A nation. V'yigdal, so he become great. She'asi Gideon latzes mimenu, for Gideon is destined to come forth from Menashe. Shekadosh Baruch Hu oisanei sal yodei, that Hashem is going to do a miracle through him.
Is he referring to the son? Become the son for him to finish the battle?
With only 300 men, he wiped out the Midianite armies of 135,000 soldiers. Right. Nonetheless, however, the younger brother is going to be greater than him. Because Yeshua, right, who's going to lead the Jewish people, Yanchil is Haaretz, he will apportion the land, the Yalamed Israel, and teach Torah to the Jewish people. So he's going to be greater than him. Right? Continuing in Rashi, and his offspring, meaning the fame of his offspring, will fill the nations. Kol ha'olam yismaleh, the entire world will be filled. B'tzei Shammai v'Ushmai, with his reputation, his name goes forth. Kishiyamid chama b'givay, because he will make the sun stand still in Gibeon. This is Yeshua. V'yareach be'emek Ayala, and the moon stands still in the valley of Ayala. So in other words, that, from this, his reputation will be far and wide. This when the Jewish people go into Israel to battle for the land. Okay. Verse number 20. V'yivarchem, and he blessed them. V'yomahu on that day. Lamor, saying, B'cha, in you, through you, Yivarech Israel, it will be blessed Israel. Lamor, saying, Yisimcha Elikim, he will place in you, may God place you, Elikim, Ephraim, like Ephraim, Uken Menashe, and like Menashe. Yosim is Ephraim lifnei Menashe, and he placed Ephraim before Menashe. Rashi in 20. By the way, this is a blessing that when we do give our sons, not our children, our sons, right? That's the blessing that we give, right? Yitzchim Elokim, Ephraim Menashe, and then you go with the Birchas Kohanim, the priestly blessings and whatnot. Rashi, V'chai Yivorech Yisrael, that shall bless, by you shall Israel bless, means Haba Levarech Hezbanav, someone who comes to bless his sons, Yivorchem B'bir Chosam, shall bless him with their blessing. Vayomer Ish Libnai, and a man should say to his son, Simcha Elokim, may Hashem place you, Ephraim and Menashe, like Ephraim and Menashe. Next Rashi, Yosim is Menashe, and he put, Yosim Ephraim rather, he put Ephraim, the Bir Chosai, in his blessing, Lifnei Menashe, before Menashe, Lagdimai, in order to put Ephraim ahead of Menashe, B'digolim, in the journey and how they journeyed on the four sides of the encampment and the standards. So he came before Menashe, and likewise in the inauguration of the princesses that comes in Parshas Nosai on Rosh Chodesh Nisan.
So what's so special about Ephraim and Menashe? What we read? Why can't we just say Simcha Gidon V'ke Yoshua?
What do you mean? Because of that's what's going to happen.
We don't hear much about them.
So simple meaning, the way Rashi says it, because what the future, because the verse is speaking about in the future of what will come forth from them, right?
So
This explains that what do you mean?
Instead of saying when Ephraim and Menashe, because of Yeshua and Gidon, why are not Simcha ke Gidon v'ke Yeshua? Why do we have to bless our children over somebody who within the future will have something?
Because that's what you're blessing them, that you should also have in your future. You're blessing your child that they should be like Ephraim and Menashe, that greatness comes from them.
Why not that your children should be like Yeshua?
No, greatness should come from them. So the greatness is that came from Ephraim and Menashe. That's the blessing. The blessing is that greatness should come forth from them. Not that they're great. The greatness comes forth from them. That's the blessing. Right? It's not, and that's the difference between a non-Jew and a Jew. Non-Jew is that you become great. And a Jew is that your kids and your offspring and the future that comes forth from you is great. That's Judaism is a tradition that we pass down, and that we're jealous of everybody except for our own children, that they should outdo us. So that's the blessing. That's the blessing. The blessing is in me, or the blessing is what comes out from me?
That's my kids. I want them to be great themselves, not
Well,
what come out of them.
That's, I guess, not the Jewish way.
I don't know.
That-
And also Ephraim, he took
that's, I mean, clearly, it's clearly what,
Okay.
not that they're not great on their own stead, but it's not enough that you are great on your own stead.
and he produced also
That what comes forth from you. Yeah.
also later on, the northern tribes took on the name of Ephraim. The northern tribe, the 10 northern tribes, it took like Ephraim became the chief name for the representing the 10
Yeah.
tribes.
Yeah.
Judah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, that's clearly from the Torah what the Torah is suggesting over here, right?
Okay.
21. Vayomer Yisrael, and Israel said El Yosef to Yosef, Hine, behold, Anechi Mes, I'm going to pass. I'm going to die. V'haya lekimi machem, and Hashem will be with you. V'heishiv eschem, and he will bring you back El Eretz Abeseichem, to the land of your forefathers. Of your fathers. No Rashi. 22.
Yes.
Yeah, last verse. Ve'ani, and I, nesati l'cha, I'm giving to you, shechem achad al achecha. Shechem, which we'll see, it's a portion. Shechem means a shoulder, right? But a portion, a shoulder up. You're getting a shoulder up. That's where the term shoulder up comes from here, right? You're getting a shoulder one over your brothers, a shoulder up, right? Asher lekachti miyad ha'emori, that which I took from the hands of the Amorites, becharbi, with my sword, bikashti, and my bow. Okay, we need some Rashi over here to get a little understanding what's going on over here. Rashi in 22. Bani nasati locha. Yeah, there's a book there if you want. I'll pass the book over. Thank you. And I have given to you lepisha ata tereach, because you're troubling yourself, lisasik bikvurosi, to involve yourself in my burial. It's interesting where Rashi gets that from, because we didn't speak about the burial a couple days now, right? So the fact that Rashi is going back to that is interesting. Why so? So I'm also giving to you. An heritage in which you will be buried. And what's that? Shechem? That's Shechem. I'm giving you Shechem. Shenemar, as it says, there's Atzmeis Yosef, the bones of Yosef, Elu, Bnei Yisrael Mitzrayim, that the children of Israel they brought up from Egypt, Kavra b'Shechem, they buried Yosef in Shechem. That's in the book of Joshua, quoting from.
The Chumash speak about the shoulder, and Rashi translated as a city.
A portion. I mean, what it means, a shoulder, means I'm giving you a portion extra. I'm giving you more, right? And so the word Shem, Rashi is using. Okay, you know how I get it. Except it's interesting. He's not quoting the word Shem from the verse, which seemingly the whole point is from the word Shem, which means a city, the city of Shem, right? But Rashi's not even quoting that. So that's very interesting how Rashi would not, he doesn't even quote with a goimer, like, and so on. In other words, it seems to be without quoting Shem, he's proving the point that that's what I'm giving to you, because that's what I'm giving to you. Very interesting. We need to understand that. You follow the difficulty?
Not really.
Look at the words that he's speaking on. He just made a statement. I am giving you. And he doesn't use the word Shem, that's what I'm giving to you. I'm giving you. Based on those words, right? He's saying, because you arrange my burial. Where does that come from? Because I'm giving you. Why should it be based on the burial? Where does that come from? Right? So in other words, like the way I understand maybe, and I don't really get it. I'm giving you what you gave me. That's what Rashi's kind of saying. You gave me a burial. You're taking me to bury me, right? So I'm giving you also a burial. That's, I think, how Rashi is getting it. Okay, just answer my own question. If that's correct, I'm not certain. Okay, let's go to the next Rashi. Shchem echad al achecha. Ashchem. So Rashi says Shchem mamish. Literally. He tiyelecha. It will be to you. Chelik echad. One portion. Yisir al achecha. More than your brothers. Because you're getting Shchem. Okay. Becharti bikashti. Next Rashi. In my sword and my bow. Kishahargu Shimon Valevi. When Shimon and Levi killed, it's Anshe Shchem, the men, the people of Shchem. Remember, that's where they killed because of Dinah. All those around them gathered together, Lizdavig Lahem, to engage them in a battle. And Yaakov girded himself with weapons of war, connect them to fight against them. That's what, although that's very interesting. When we learned the story, it didn't say this, right? It did say that Yaakov was was frightened that now the people are going to wage a war. But according to this, it says he waged the war. But earlier we didn't learn it that way, right? Mm-hmm. Didn't learn it that way. So that's interesting. Now that's one expression. Alternatively, Shchem Echad Hu HaBachera. Shchem Echad is the birthright of the firstborn. She'it Lebanav Shnei Chalakim. That his sons, Yosef's sons, would take two portions. Right, so they're getting a double portion, right? Because he has two sons becoming tribes rather than just one. That's a birthright of the firstborn. The Shchem Lashin Chelaku. And the word Shchem over here means a portion. In Targuma, as Unkelis translates it, Hula. There's similar instances where the word Shchem means a portion. The same as Shchem. And when you put them as a portion, Tashis Seine Lefanai Lechelkam, when you put my enemies before me and apportion them, Chalka Shchem, I will divide a portion, Derech Yeratzchu Shchema, on the roads, they will murder a portion. Just showing that it means a portion. Ish Chalkai, Avdeshchem Echad, worship him with one portion. Okay, Asher Lakachti, next Rashi. Asher Lakachti Miyad HaAmori, that I took from the hands of the Amorite, Miyad Esav, from the hands of Esav, She'osa Maise Amori, who did act like an Amorite. They're the most sinful of the Canaanite nations, the Amorites. Davar Acher, alternatively, so it's called an Amorite, Shayatzad Avi, because he would ensnare his father Imre Fiv with the sayings of his mouth. he would say something to make him look like, he's very holy when he wasn't. B'charbi b'kashti, with my sword and my bow. He b'chachmasi b'tfilosi means my wisdom and my prayer. Another explanation, a third one. All right.
We saw that in the past somewhere. That the bow and the sword was referring to.
Yeah. Yeah.
The prayer, was it?
Good question.